What's going on, guys, and welcome back to our Surviving Java series. And as you can probably tell, we are now kitted out for Christmas. Now that we're in the month of December, I thought it was a fitting time to come back to the winter village that we worked on a lot last Christmas, and we can do some more work on it. Now, there's a couple of things that I've got planned for today. We've got our Christmas texture pack running again, so we've got our different coloured tools and our little Santa outfit that goes with our ensemble. And then what we want to work on today is, there's a couple of things actually. One is I want to build somewhere that some of the villagers can actually sleep. So we're going to be putting down another sort of Christmassy themed house. I'm thinking that I want to put it somewhere over here. I think is a nice spot next to like the frozen lake. This should be roughly about enough room, but I'll see how that goes. I need to get the resources aside. I've already got a sort of design in mind of how I want it to be, but the first thing I want to work on is a way to actually get over here and back, because we haven't got a nether portal linked to this area of our world like at all anymore. I've sort of conferred with Clowd to see where we should actually put the portal, and although the snow's covering it up, he's actually plotted out a bit of land here. So this is where we're going to want the nether portal. So as soon as you come out of the nether portal, you can see the Christmas tree, and as you're coming out of it, the baubles or the lights on the tree, because they're player heads, they obviously don't render from so far away. So we wanted it just close enough so when you come through the portal, all of that will actually render in perfectly fine. So it's a nice sort of picturesque feel and look to the whole winter village. So yeah, it looks like I need to fly all the way back and then figure out the coordinates of that. I've already taken a screenshot of them coordinates so I can sort of work it out in the nether, and once I'm in the nether and I've found out exactly how far it is I need to make the portal, I will bring you back. Alright, so I managed to find the point, and it's roughly in between Visible Insights Tunnel with Science Sizzle's Flower Farm, which is down there on the left, and then it's also in between the Gold Farm Tunnel. Now what I could possibly do if I wanted to was sort of just extend it further on down there and then swing it left in order to do another portal on this run, but because I want it to be I want it to be a tunnel off of the main tunnel line, because the center point there is where all of our main north, west, east and south lines like sort of run, and this area like Mac has spent a hell of a long time working on. And you know what, let's go resource packs, visible ores. That just helps me mine a little bit, just helps me spot ores from further away without blowing them up when I'm using the tunneling machine, but it gives the outline which makes it makes this epic room look extremely busy. And I do like how textured the actual room is. But yeah, I wanted it to come straight off of one of the main lines. So you've got the sort of forest line that leads to the jungle area. That line leads to Stake Space, I do believe. And then that line feeds to a couple of different Ocean Monument farms, as well as the Copper Farm. And then this line, I do believe, leads to... I'm not too sure actually what line that one leads to, but then this is our main spawn island portal as well. And you can actually drop in from the nether roof and land on slime blocks down here, which is extremely handy for getting around. And then I know that Mac's working on different sort of tunnel systems that go on... which side is it? It's not that and it's not that. I know that he's been digging tunnels through a bunch of these sort of portholes, but I don't know what level. Oh, okay, it's the level just above, so it's these ones. He's got lines running in each direction actually through the nether, rather than through the underbelly of the nether, which is where our main sort of line section goes. But yeah, he's been hard at work sort of digging in each direction doing that, and good on him, because that is very, very tedious work. Now the tunnel that I want to dig is going to be at 228 past on this line. So I was digging and I did just come across, I've got another texture pack to turn seas. Oh my god, the amount of textures I've got in order to spot ores is ridiculous. What one is that? I think that's like obvious debris. Obvious debris, there we go. That's the one that I was using before when I was using the tunneling machine. The tunneling machine was so I could see the redstone ore as I was digging. But nevertheless, let's see. This one's going to be running through basalt deltas and all sorts of crap, isn't it? So yeah, let me dig this over to 228. And it should create a decent length tunnel that we can actually decorate appropriately to make it feel and look very sort of Christmassy themed. So it's going to take a lot of clearing out. So what I'm going to do, rather than you watching me do this manually, because it's going to take very long considering that it looks like it's majority bloody basalt delta, I'm just going to jump straight into a time lapse of me digging all of this section out, and then I'll bring you out. Right, well, bring you out? No, I'll bring you back once it's done. Alright, so that took far longer than I would have ever expected it to. It took around about 5 to 6 hours, mainly because the entire section of this was mainly through a basalt delta. I did have to relocate Invisible Insights portal, but only a little bit, and I made sure that it's still linked up. It was just over there, so I just had to move it to the side, otherwise it would have been cutting up or over this tunnel. And at worst, what we can do, if he does still need it over there for any purpose, we can just do a separate link on this side to exit for his portal through the Christmas tunnel. But yeah, this one's now dug out, ready for me to build. I did carpet it all because I had two totems popped by magma cubes as I was clearing it out. Mac did stop by and he helped me for around about an hour worth of the digging, and then he had to shoot off. But yeah, it was good to actually get a little bit of help digging it out, because yeah, it's although it's not very long, it's about 220 odd blocks, but just the basalt, when you haven't got a beacon set up, it just takes so long to mine. It's very slow. But nevertheless, what we're going to do now is hop into a time lapse of me actually cracking out this nether tunnel, because it's going to take a good while, and rather than doing periodic updates, I enjoy doing the replay mod. So yeah, I guess I'll catch you back after the tunnel's built. Alright then guys, so it took the better part of, it actually took quicker to build it than it did to actually dig the tunnel out, to be honest with you. And it was helpful because yeah, I managed to breeze through it pretty quickly, and then when I was getting up to the ceiling, Cloud came over and joined me, and then he helped me do the finishing touches. He also brought me this awesome candy cane shield, which I'm extremely happy about. It goes with our Christmas ensemble. We've got our antlers on with our Christmas outfit, some Santa pants, Santa boots, candy cane shield, so we're all decked out for Christmas. But yeah, this is the design that I come up with for the tunnel. It's sort of well, we've got the traditional candy canes, and I've gone for like the brickwork with the fireplaces to sort of indicate sort of like the chimney for Santa to come down, and then we've got the leaves with the little coloured baubles. They're just different coloured plated heads. Cloud actually came along and he put all of them on for us because I was still working on, I forgot what I was working on. I know that I was tidying up the front entrance to make the area where it joins on a little bit smoother with this tunnel. So yeah, so now we've got a nice decent Christmas entrance. and it does stretch on for a fair bit, so it did actually take a little while. And wow, oh, this is cool. I didn't build this section. This must have been Cloud after I went for dinner. Oh, okay, yeah, so he's added like an extra little bit on the end. Now, I don't know if he's done that because when you come through, I don't know which way you're meant to be facing in order to see what he's built on the other side. Like, I was working on that section, so you are meant to come through the other way, and he's been working on this over in the winter... Ow, berry bush. In the winter village. I haven't slept for like years. Go away, Phantom. So if you saw in the time lapse how many times I was getting griefed by... Yeah, you die. I was getting griefed by so many magma cubes, and it wasn't even funny. They was driving me insane. But this is the build that Cloud's gone ahead and done. It's sort of like a snow globe with the portal inside. So that way we've got a nice entrance, and when you come through the portal, the thing you're looking at straight away is like the Christmas tree when you come through, and you get this big sort of picturesque feel of what the winter village is going to be. Now, before we end this episode, there's still another build that I want to try and cram in, which means me doing it in a bit of a form of a time lapse. And that's because, well, I managed to get... I keep on pressing F5 in order to get out of free cam, and then my fingers get all muddled up about where the buttons are. So, yeah, the next thing I want to build, because I want to start getting the villagers breeding and getting more of them wandering around, we're going to have somewhere for them to sleep now. I did end up having to replace the workstations for our farmers, just in order to make them change back into farmers. For some reason, when we updated the server, all the POIs got deleted, so we had to reset every single nether portal and also reset every single workstation, because every single villager sort of it lost its mark as to what workstation was its workstation, so it wasn't resetting. So we've had to go around, and all of our villager breeders, our villager trading halls, all the stations had been picked up and put down after we'd done the last update. But nevertheless, that out of the way, what I'm thinking is I want to place this building that I'm thinking of here next to the frozen lake. Dude, come on, give me a break. It's Christmas, like, we should be able to stop you guys from flying around. I think if the ground that you're... That ISO got him. If the ground that you're standing on is lit up above spawning level, I don't think these dudes should be allowed to spawn, because they are just infuriating. So yeah, what I'm going to do is probably plan out a little more. I may end up having to extend this and take that little section that comes out back a bit, and then I'll replace that with more ice, and then we can have a building just here. Or I could actually place it on this side. This side's looking a little bit more bare, so I think I could put it here, because we've got the stables just on there. So if we put it on this side next to the lake, and we can just open up the fence a little bit here in order to have the walkway come through. But yeah, so far so good with the Christmas village progression. Like, we've now got a beautiful portal that you sort of come through. We've got a bunch of presents dotted around, and then when we go through, I have no idea which way we're meant to be facing when we go through. I'm assuming we should be facing... Okay, so that's how comes he's built that little back section. So I'm assuming he wants us to come through into here and then be facing this way when we go through the portal. So that way we should be facing... Nope, we're still facing the leaves, so... Yeah, I'm not too sure. Maybe... Did I do that the first time? Or am I going insane? Okay, so... Now I'm facing... Okay, I don't understand the portals clearly. Like a Lincoln, don't understand the directional things on them. But nevertheless, I'm going to have to tidy up my mess that I've left out in this hallway. All of these need to be run through my system. And then I will sort of put the resources together in order to build the villager sleeping quarters over in the winter village. And once I'm ready to do that, what we'll do is, rather than me giving another explanation or a jump cut before doing that, we're just going to jump straight into a time lapse of me doing it, to be honest with you. You're not meant to be here. Can we... Oh, come on. And thank you. There's room in here. Yeah, so we're just going to jump straight into a time lapse of me actually cracking that out. I'm going to let this stuff run through, and then, yeah, I'll bring you back after I have finished doing that build. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy the time lapse. There we go. And we are done. The build itself didn't actually take that long whatsoever. It's just nicely sitting next to the lake where we had planned it. And the resources I had pretty much all at hand, although I am running into some technical issues with my storage room just randomly deleting stuff that's trying to be filtered in. So I put around about 5 shulkers worth of resources through it and it's just completely deleted all of it, so I need to go problem solve that after I've finished recording this episode. The build itself, very simple. It's just like a nice little building that sits next to the thing. We've got the gradual sloping roof, and I've done 2 layers of snow to prevent mob spawns on the roof because I didn't want to light it up and I wanted it to look very Christmassy. We've gone with the spruce and dark oak, and then inside we've just got a bunch of beds, so hopefully the villagers will sort of pathfind over to here. Couple of shelves, some snow globes, some presents next to the fireplace, some decorations with the glowberries, and then decorations either side of the fireplace with the hanging weeping vines. I'm not too sure about that. I just had that in my inventory and I thought, okay, just back it above the door. But yeah, and then we've got the windows that are red and white, so adding to the sort of Christmassy theme with the hanging leaves. I forgot what they're called, the actual term for them. Have I got food? I literally just died as well. I was taking a second in order to record a beginning intro clip by me standing on top of the tree. And yeah, I forgot that I took my wings off and then I just walked off and I died. So that's one more death for me. It's the first death I actually had on this server in quite a while now. But nevertheless, it happens. Let me... Oh, actually, I didn't want to pick you up straight away. I wanted to put away my flint and steel. Do that. What else do we need to put away? You need to be put away. I am going to have to go. I'm really dreading because I've already spent like 2 hours trying to troubleshoot my storage area and it's just been driving me insane. I cannot figure it out and I don't like it when I can't figure stuff out because it's highly frustrating. I do need to make sure that none of this is actually spawnable spots. So I did sort of yeet quite a few of the torches that was around here in order to place the building down. But by the looks of it, we've got enough coverage. Cloud did go around and he put all the torches underneath white carpet. So that way all the area is still spawn proof and it looks nice because it's not got a bunch of torch spam. So thank you to him for doing that. But yeah, I think that's probably going to do it for today's episode. We managed to get the tunnel done and the link up. Cloud's built the snow globe for our entrance area. We've got our little villager house. We're going to be popping up a few of these sorted around the area as well. I may do that in between episodes, or I may just jump into sort of like time-lapse footages of me putting some of them dotted around. What I have gone and done is I've got Steve over here waiting next to the villagers, so that way they breed. The villagers are having quite a tendency of killing themselves by walking into the berry bushes. So I may need to reconsider, let me get rid of the numbers. I absolutely hate the numbers when they're dotted around everywhere. We may need to reconsider what to do about that. I may have to end up picking up the berry bushes and replacing it with something else. I'm not too sure what we could replace it with that adds like another fleck of red and green. I could probably, no, I would say we could try like the flowering azalea leaves, but again they're like really sort of mossy green and it's more pink than red. But yeah, something for me to think about. This is the Grinch and he's still throwing presents away. That's a little stage thing that Cloud had done last year. No joy allowed. I don't think he's talking about me, but yeah, nevertheless, then that's my last rocket. So hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode and hopefully I'll catch you all in the next one. Bye bye.